You guys, we have reached the last pillar for now, anyway. And I say for now for a reason I'll get to in a second. But we have reached the last pillar of Black Girl Creative. Yay! So, to be honest, this pillar is actually a recent addition to the pillars. There used to be four, which is creativity, community, storytelling, and holistic well being. But I recently added on giving and service. So giving and service was going to be like a little sub point underneath community because it is kind of about community and giving back to community. But I feel like it needed its own thing and its own reason, right? It needed its own I don't know, definition, so to speak. So giving and service, let's talk about that a little bit. So I have my notes with me because I want to stay on track. But again, this is a recent addition, so bear with me, y'all. Giving. Let's talk about giving. So, with creativity and storytelling and holistic well-being and community, did I say that already? Or creativity? All of that is great for us as individuals, right? But when we look at the collective, we have to be really dead set on giving back. We have to be dead set on serving other people. Like, us being in service gives us worth and value internally that people can't take away from us, right? When I do these podcasts, it's great to hear myself talk, right? It's kind of cathartic for me. It feels good. But if I'm not serving you, then it feels like it's for nothing, right? It's not really hitting the pain points that you have. And so what would this be all for? Vanity? And some things I feel like it's okay to have hobbies and to just do things just to do them. But for the most part, we want to create our art for other people. We want other people to enjoy it, to understand it, to be able to wrestle with it, to be able to create their own things. We want to inspire other people to create their own art. And so with that, we have to be able to give back and to serve, And so giving is really just about giving what you have. Like, I know there are things that I want to do that I don't have access to right now. I want to give people millions of dollars. Girl, the bank account is not saying we can do that, But so in a lot of ways, it might feel like, oh, well, I can't give anything back right now. And really, we have more than we think we have to be able to give back. So this podcast is free. Anybody can listen to this podcast, right? All you need is a phone and software. That's it. And we'll have like a workshop on how to start your own podcast if you would like. If you're interested in that, just let me know. But either way, like, you don't need a fancy setup to have a podcast. You don't need a fancy setup to do the things you want to do. You just got to want to do them. You know what I mean? You have to be willing to be able to be like, okay, God, what do I have? Let's take inventory. So I have a phone, I have the internet, I have whatever. What can I make with this? And so you'll see so many creators making amazing things, making videos on YouTube, making, again, podcasts, making videos on Instagram or pictures, whatever it is. Like, they use what they have to be able to give back. And so it's crazy because, we think that we don't have enough to give back. And so I struggle with the same thing. I'm like, well, I want to be able to like get my mom out of her job so she can just be in the house. That's how much money I want to make. So I can give back to my auntie and give back to, the people that have given to me and help my community and uplift my community. And so for a while I was like, well, I don't really have anything to give, but I have time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have time. Right now, I'm not working a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? And so I have time to be able to come here and to record these podcasts. I have time to hang out with my friends when they need me. Sadly, one of my best friends, her mother passed away at the end of the year. And if I wasn't a 9-to-5 job, I wouldn't be able to be there for her in the way that I was able to be there for her. And so even though it might not look like much, it might not be money, it might not be, all these like resources, I had time. And so how I chose to spend my time was to spend it with her, was to give it to her and her family, preparing to bury their mother. And so in the same way, you have resources and you have things that you can give back to society with what you have now. You have a wealth of knowledge. You have the internet. Again, like, you have the ability to give back, and know that even if you give stuff away, you shouldn't necessarily be focused on so giving in business is different, right? But you can still be generous even in your business. But like, even here, there will be workshops that cost money. There will be workshops that, charge. And like, I wrestled with that for a little bit because I was just like, well, I don't like, some stuff will be free, right? Like, the meetups we have are free. Some events will be free, but some stuff will have to cost money. And so I was worried about that because I was like, well, I don't want to turn people away. I don't want people to be like, oh, she's just money grabbing at this point. But no, like, I have to be able to make money so that I can give. Like, if I wasn't making money, right, then like, how am I going to be able to give to my husband or if I have kids, my kids? How will I be able to give to you all more if I don't have no money. If I don't have the money to take care of my house or my expenses or the expenses of just the event, I wouldn't be able to give you an event that is worthwhile, that is worth your money. And so I really have to like change my mindset around that, because it's really hard for me. Like, me and money have a complicated relationship. And God says that he gives us the ability to make wealth. And so one of the reasons why I want to make money is so that I can give it away. So yes, I want to have my basic needs met, like food, clothing, shelter, that kind of stuff. But also here at Black Girl Creative, I want to share with you some ideas that I have. And so maybe in hearing that idea, you'll want to donate, or you'll want to opt into paying for an event sometimes, or maybe sponsoring somebody else. But either way, these are some ideas that I had for giving for Black Girl Creative. So I want to give grants and scholarships to women. I want, like, if they're in school and they don't know how they're going to pay, I want to be able to pay for that for them, for Black women. I want to be able to do that. I want to give therapy vouchers. We talked about wellness last episode, and how some people don't have access to therapy. They don't have access to the resources to be able to go to therapy, or the time, right? So being able to give them therapy vouchers, they can use that for, maybe an hour of a babysitter, or they can use that for an actual hour of therapy with a therapist, with a licensed therapist. I want to be able to give grocery money to people. Like, there are so many people that are hungry, who don't have access to like good foods. In the summertime, I have this other project called the Full Well Project, and it's really about, like, again, healing people holistically. And in the summertime and springtime, I really want to have vendors come out and donate some of their services, but also allow people to pay them for their services. So whether that's like, oh, green, you can buy some greens from this person, or you can, this person will teach you how to make a smoothie or how to make a meal, whatever it is, right? Really bringing it to the community and helping people to live a more holistically healthy life. I don't even know if that's the right English, but whatever, you get what I'm trying to say. So grocery money, housing vouchers. People are losing their homes left and right here in the US. I'm pretty sure it's the same everywhere else too, or they're struggling to pay their rent because of, one, we're in a global pandemic, but also because the housing market was trashed in the first place. People have been homeless. Like, people think like, oh, the pandemic has made everything bad. No, it's been bad. It's been bad here. So I don't care what they're trying to say to y'all. I don't know if you live outside the US, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And I'm pretty sure y'all know that. But still, like, there are people who don't have homes. And so I want to be able to be like, you know what? I got a girl. Here you go. We got it. We'll pay your rent this month. And so again, like I said, the Full Up Project is my own, like, kind of personal project, like nonprofit. And the whole point of that is really to take art, take creativity into the community, take holistic stuff. So like, teaching people how to cook well, teaching people how to, take care of themselves, how to heal, like that kind of stuff, and really taking that into the community and really helping them. So that's a partner of this podcast, of this group of Black Girl Creative. And it's really just for Black people in general, like just our community in general. I also want to be able to fund Black women startups. Like, so if they need a little help, like, just be able, hey, here's $500 to help you start your business, or here's $500 to help you start your project. If it's an art project or something, if you want to record an album, you can write in and I can give you some money so that you can buy the equipment you need, or, have the engineer, or pay the engineer to like mix and master your music, whatever that person needs. Like, food supplies and food drives. I want to have like a farmer's market-ish kind of thing where people can come and get free food. That's what I really want to do. And so this is my heart. Like, this is my heart. And I know that in order to do that, I would have to, one, either fundraise or sell something. And so there will be stuff to sell. There will be stuff that costs, but I want you to know what's going on behind the scenes before we even do that. But beyond that, you serving. How can you serve in a capacity that you have right now, right? So I'm not going to wait until I get all the money to be able to do these things. No, like I said, I'm giving back by my time. I'm giving back by my platform, shouting out other Black women, with the money that I do have, going to their events, paying full price for their products, right? Like, y'all, we got to stop asking Black women for discounts. We have to stop, because we want to be able to put them in a place where they can sustain. If we can afford it, pay full price. And if we can't, still put them on, share their stuff. Like, how can you serve other Black women? How can you be of use to other Black women and not look for a return for yourself? Not look like, yeah, they'll probably say thank you. But beyond that, it's like, how can we give back? Giving just feels so good, y'all. It's so good. It's nourishing. It just kind of, I know I'm like not completing my sentences, but giving is something I'm very passionate about. And I feel like a lot of people, because of the trauma that they face in their own life, they feel like, oh, I don't have enough to serve. Like, no, you do. And it doesn't have to be money. It could be time. It could be resources. It could be knowledge, like I said earlier. We should all be giving back. We should all be giving back to the collective because somebody gave to us. Somebody gave to us something, somehow. Like, I know sometimes even for people who struggle their whole lives, like we feel like, oh, well, no one gave to us. They didn't give us anything. Somebody gave you something. Nobody makes it on their own. Somebody gave you their time. Somebody gave you their attention, gave you their resources, whatever it is, so that you could be where you are today. And so in the same way, we should be asking ourselves the same question, like, how can I give back today? Who can I give today, right? Even if it's just going to go visit your friend. I don't know, like I know we're in a pandemic, but or even if it's just like, hey, let me spend an hour talking to my friend about her day, or call my auntie and see how she's doing. Or, oh, I made this meal. Maybe I can take this meal to someone who is living with, or someone who's elderly, or someone who's sick, or whatever it is. Maybe I can send them a card or make them a piece of art and give it to them. You know what I mean? And so I'm really this year trying to figure out how I can give back more. And what I find is that it's amazing because we think we don't have these resources. When you say that you're giving something, God gives you the resources. God comes through, right? God does the thing because your heart is pure and your heart is right and you just want to give, right? And so even as a business person, I know people feel guilty about charging for stuff. Yo, don't charge for stuff. Don't feel guilty about charging for stuff if you intend to do well with that money. You have to be able, like people say, don't pour from an empty well. I don't want you to forsake you eating dinner because you want to give to somebody. You have to take care of yourself so that you're in a good place. Again, holistic healing. You're in a good place so that you can give to someone else. And I know I sound pretty much all over the place. I don't really have like exhaustive notes on this, but I'm just speaking from my heart. Like, giving is nourishing to ourselves. It is nourishing to other people. You will change people's lives by giving to them anything you have, right? Like, send a text message. Hey, I was thinking about you today. That's giving your attention and your time. Being present with someone and like maybe not being on the phone, right? That's something I struggle with. Like, don't be on the phone and be present with them and have a conversation. They'll feel like $1,000,000 because they matter enough to you to have your 100% attention. You know what I mean? Go the extra mile, give a smile to someone. If you got the money, tip someone more, right? When I go to restaurants, I love over tipping servers. I love them. First of all, I was a server, so I get it. And when you see their face light up, like, really? Like, you want to give me $20? Yes, sis. Yes. Why can't you have $20? Like, you know what I mean? It's just amazing. And so when it comes to creativity, community, storytelling, holistic healing, giving, I felt like was a pillar we could not talk about, because giving influences all those other 4 ones. Giving influences the creativity, right? When we're making something with someone in mind, when your kid is making you that macaroni and paint collage, like they're fueled and they're passionate and they're excited to give it to you, right? Like, giving, because they're imagining what your face is going to look like when you receive it. When you talk about storytelling, you want to offer someone your story, offer your expertise, your knowledge, your experiences to help that other person come up. When you're talking about community, like, we're all communing here and offering a safe place for everybody to feel seen, heard, and understood. You know what I mean? And loved. And so in that way, we're giving them time, we're giving them space, we're giving them energy. When you talk about healing, like, you have no idea how healing your own story could be. You have no idea how healing it is just to get a hug or a card in the mail or whatever it is, a phone call. Like, use what you have, the resources you have. The resources are for us, yes, but they're also for other people. God doesn't give us gifts to hoard them. God doesn't give us gifts to hoard them. He gives us gifts to give to other people. And so the place that we feel most, when we feel most alive and most electrified, I promise you, is when you're giving to someone or serving somebody. And yes, you can do that in your business. You can do that for a price, right? So when someone is charging you for something, or when someone is paying you for something, give 110%, because their money is important, right? But also they are important. You have to see them as more important than the bottom line. Those people you serve are more important than your dollar. I promise you. One, just because they are, and they are human beings, and they are made in the image of God, and they are important. But also, if you continue, not that you should do it for selfish gain, right? But if you continue to serve people 110%, they will bring their friends. Like, giving allows you to receive more. When you think you don't have it, it allows you to receive more. You know what I'm saying? And not that we should be doing to get more, but I promise you, all your needs will be met when you have a heart and a posture to give. I promise you. So giving and serving people, y'all. Again, we'll have opportunities for you to serve if you want, for me to serve you guys. And that's the whole point of me doing this. I want to be able to serve you. Like, again, it's great to talk and to, say my experiences and to give myself a platform, using air quotes. But it's more, to me, it feels better when people message me and say, yo, that episode, that touched me. I'm like, yes, like this is the point. This is why I want to do it. This is the service I want to provide. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes me feel like I'm on mission. And so you are on mission here to enjoy life, yes, but to also give and serve other people. And so my question to you is, how are you serving? How are you giving back? How are you, even in your immediate circle, in your family, your friends? You don't have to go out of the country to serve somebody. You can go right down the street. You can go right down the hall to serve somebody. You know what I'm saying? So really, really, really take into consideration your influences, your resources, the things that you have access to, and see how you can serve the people in your community, in your household, in your immediate circle with the gifts you've been given. And I promise you it will change your perspective. It will change your life. So this has been a great series, you guys, like talking about the 5 pillars of creativity. I hope that you were able to get something from one of them, so I hope something resonated with you. And if it did, please let me know. Send me an inbox. I will shout you out on the podcast. Leave a review, please. For those of you who have access to Apple Podcasts, it really helps other people be able to find this podcast. It really helps with the algorithm and all that great stuff. And yeah, if you find this episode, healing or inspiring or anything like that, share it. Share it with somebody, share it with your followers or whatever it is. And again, I'll shout you out. Let's get to work. Like, now that I've shared these 5 pillars with you guys that like God has given me, I'm really excited just to get to work. I'm really excited about the next thing. But I am really excited to see what you guys are going to do, how you guys are going to be impacted. I'm really excited about that. Like, I'm so excited. Season 2, this second year of Black Girl Creative has come with so much, and I'm just so grateful and so excited. But yes, again, thank you so much. I will talk to you all next episode, where next episode will actually be probably an interview, but we'll get into storytelling. So I'm excited. So until next episode, you guys, keep creating, keep making stuff, because what you make, the community you serve, all that good stuff, your creativity, your community, your healing, your giving, all that stuff matters. All of it matters. Okay? So until next episode, I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.